Welcome back to Beatrice YouTube channel. In today's class, we are going to learn how to make this beautiful trending blouse that you see here. So I used mesh fabric for this. I'm going to take you through how to cut and sew this. It's a very simple tutorial. If this is something you like to learn, kindly stay tuned to the end of this tutorial. Thank you. So the first measurement you need to take is how long you want your sash to be. It's going to be from here, and then you're going to take it all the way to this place, depending on how much you want it to drop. Can you see the drop that I have here? And I have 49 inches here from the nape of my neck, from the nape of my neck all the way around like this. Then once you take that, you're going to take the measurement for your strap as well. So you can see that I'm holding on to it, and then from my shoulder I'm going to measure what I want. Can you see? I have 5 inches here. So this is the length that I'm going to be using for my strap. So you take from your neck all the way down to how much you want. If you want it to drop very well, depends on how much you want it to drop. If you want it to drop more, you just take the measurements like that, and wherever it is you have it, you take it. Mine is just going to be 49 inches. So this is the depth that I'm going to be having for mine. So this is the mesh that we are working with. So after taking that measurement, we are going to come and cut out the sash that is going to go around first. So to do that, I'm going to put my fabric on fold in bias. Yeah, when you want to put on fold in the bias, it simply means that you are folding in form of a triangle like this. Okay, so once you fold like that, the next thing is to measure out the measurement that we took there. We took 49 inches, depending on how much you want the drape to drop. So now then the folding of the triangle as well depends on how full you want it to be. You can see that mine is not so full. If you want it to be full, you can make it you can measure it to the other hand like this, so that you have your full triangle. But for me, I'm just measuring, I'm just stopping it around there. You can see that I still have fabric here. It's not a full bias. So you are going to arrange it well, and then you measure out the 49 inches or whatever it is you measured on your own. Okay, so now the next thing is for us to measure out the 49 inches. My table is quite small, so you can see it's going to start from, I'm going to be measuring from this angle here. Okay, you can see from the triangle, I'm start measuring from here all the way to the 49 inches there. So now I'll take my tape and then mark 49 inches all around, as if we are cutting a flare, starting from that triangular point. I'll mark the 49 inches all around. And then you're going to connect it. So once you connect it, you grab your scissors and then you cut it out. So can you see? This is what I have. Okay, this is what I have. So once you cut it, the next thing is just to cut the base of the top. So for the base, I'm going to be using this mesh as well, but if you feel the mesh is too transparent for you, you can use lycra or crepe of a matching color. So this is what I'm going to be using. So it's very stretchy, as you can see. It's a mesh fabric. So I'll just put it on fold like this, and then I'm going to be using my waist measurement to so that it can clinch the body very well. Although we are still going to put elastic on it, so you can also use your bust measurements I'm going to be using the waist measurement. So the waist is 30. That is what I'm going to use to cut out my fabric. So I've put it on fold. I'm not shaping it, so I'll just cut it out once. 30 divided by 2 is 15. So I'll cut 15 inches out on fold. Can leave small allowance for joining. Can you see? So I'm going to cut this out now, and then the length depends on how long you want the inner top to be. It can be up to your waist, it can stop on your under bust. That is totally up to you and what you want to work with. So for me, 10 inches is okay. I'm just leaving extra allowance for turning. So I'll put it on fold and cut out the 10 inches that I need. Okay, so this is what I need, and I have it here. So the next thing now is to go ahead and drape this on it. So now, because I don't have this is going to be my center back. Okay, so because I do not have joining on this side, I'm going to place a notch at the center front here, and then I'm going to put it on fold into two as well to indicate where my side is going to be. So I'm going to be placing notches there to indicate all of that. So once I have this now, the next thing is to decide the type of neckline you want. If you want your neckline to be straight, you leave it straight like this. If you want it to have a sweetheart neckline, then you can just come down by around 2 inches, and then you create your sweetheart neckline like this towards the side. Remember, we already have a notch on this side, so it's easy to note that. Okay, so I've created like a small sweetheart neckline there. So after creating the neckline, I'm going to give it a notch there again so that I will know how to drape drape it on it. So you can see this is the neckline that I have now. So the next thing now is to bring the sash that we created. So this is the sash. Remember, it is triangular, which means that one end is going to be narrow. Okay, one hand here is going to be narrow while the other hand is going to be wide. So the first thing you need to do is to go ahead and hem it on both sides, or you weave it, but this is just a tutorial. I'm going to use it the way it is now. So now the narrow hand, which is this one, you know, it's like a triangle. So the narrow end, I'm going to leave it. I will now work on this wide end, which is the second end. So I'm going to go ahead now and then pleat or gather this wide edge from this side. Remember, this is notch, this is the center front, this is the side seam. So I'm going to go ahead now and gather it to the side seam from here up to the midpoint. Okay, you gather everything up to your midpoint here, the wide part. You are going to gather it up to your midpoint. Okay, so you can see now that I have gone ahead to gather it. So once we gather it, the other end, that's the small triangular end, is what is going to wrap around the neckline. But first, before we do that, we are going to finish up this gathering. So you can either just fold it in like this and then sew around it so that the neckline area is going to be neat, or you cut a bias. You can cut a bias and then you use the bias to clean up the neckline. So remember that I use my waist measurements for mine, so it's definitely going to have a good grip on the bust area. But if yours is small, or you are using a fabric that is not so stretchy and you're not sure, once you finish doing this, you can put an elastic there, especially if the neckline is straight. You can put an elastic there, a tiny elastic there, so that it can make it have a good grip. So what you just need to do now is to look for a strap. Okay, so you're going to look for a strap, and then you're going to be placing a strap here before you turn. So you turn it together. If you are using a bias, you put the strap here. You can see it's a transparent strap, that's why it's not so visible. You put the strap here first, and then you turn everything together with the bias so that the strap is going to be here. So I'll go ahead and turn this now. So I've gone ahead to sew my bias to it. I just want to show you what it looks like. Can you see? I have sewn my bias, and the strap is in between the bias and the main fabric. So the next thing now is to turn it in with my bias. So I'm going to fold it inside like this. I'm going to fold it in so that everything is going to be hemmed inside like this with my bias. So you clean it up like that. Okay, so I have gone ahead to sew it, and you'll see that the neckline area is very neat now. Can you see? The neckline is very clean now. So you can go ahead and iron it if you want, and like I said, if yours does not have a good grip, you can go ahead and insert elastic on this casing. This is like a casing channel for your elastic, but I don't need that because mine is tight enough. So the next thing now is to take the other hand. Okay, I prefer to use this method because you can see that this part is not so bulky like what we have here. It's not so slim. I don't want so much fabric around the neckline area, so let me just arrange it so that I can see what is going to look like. So this is the inner top here. So what we'll do now is to take this other hand, the tiny part, that's the triangle part. We're going to take this other hand now, and it's going to go all around the neckline, and I'm going to be attaching it to this strap here. Okay, so this is what we have on the neckline. Remember that you must have hemmed this part, or you use your weaving machine to serge all of this so that it can be neat. So I'm just going to attach this part here. I'm going to go ahead and sew it on my sewing machine to this part. Then we're going to close the back. You hem it on the lower top part, and that is all you need to do. So for here, if you want to put any flower or any design after tacking this part to this part, you can even make it to wrap it around like this before you tack it down. So I'm going to tack it down. When I'm done tacking it, I'm going to go ahead and tack this flower to it as well. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tack this flower to the neckline area as well. So once you do that, you're going to hem the lower part. You're going to hem the lower part as well, and then remember it does not have any side seam. If you want, you can put side seam in yours, but because this is very stretchy, that's why I just left it like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and close it at the back. So once you sew it, this is what you're going to have. You can see I just tacked the trimming on it, and you can see what we have. So the one you gather will be on this side, and then this tiny one will just roll over. So that is why it's important for you to know how much you want it to drop, which is the first measurement that we took. And also with this method, you will see that you will not have so much fabric. Like you have so much fabric here, you will not have so much fabric hanging around the neckline. Can you see? The fabric around the neckline is not so much, and then you just tack it here, and you can see how firm mine is. So if yours is not this firm, what you can do is just put elastic on your casing there, and then you have it as firm as you want. I hope you enjoy making this beautiful tutorial with me. If you enjoyed this, let us know in the comment section. Like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.